For our first spot report, we're going to check in with the amazing real news journalist, Jaisal Noor. If you guys haven't been following Jaisal's work for the real news and all the great stuff that he shares on social media, you absolutely should. Jaisal is a vital part of the real news. And, recently he's been publishing really important coverage of critical political issues, from the Democrats' surprising Senate wins in the Georgia runoff elections to the storming of the Capitol and the congressional fallout of Trump's failed insurgency. And today, Jessel's going to give us a little rundown on the shifting power dynamics in DC and let us know about the things that he's looking out for in the coming months and years. Jaisal, take it away, man.
Well, guys, it's day one of full communism. Our work is done. We can take it easy for the next 4 years. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what the Republicans, have been selling. Unfortunately, that is, far from the truth. The reality is, remains to be seen if Joe Biden is the president for this moment. He faces historic challenges, an economy that was already rigged, which has absolutely been absolutely destroyed for working people around this country. 400,000 people dead, and that just from the COVID-19 pandemic. That last 100,000 happened just in the last 40 days. So this is a huge crisis. Obviously, the Trump administration has downplayed, COVID-19, the impacts of the pandemic. When it became clear that Black and brown communities would be hurt the hardest, Trump, abandoned any kind of real approach to it. So obviously, Biden is inheriting that whole mess. Polls show 66% of Americans fear they won't be able to afford healthcare this year. This is a real huge crisis. And what history has taught us is, for example, you take the Obama administration, if Democrats can't deliver serious relief, spend a lot of money and get relief in the pockets of Americans, precedent dictates that Democrats will lose their majority in the House and possibly the Senate. To give you an idea of that, 2008, Democrats had 60 Senate seats, and they lost that majority in the next 4 years. In 2008, Democrats had a 60-seat majority in the House of Representatives. That got wiped out in 2010. And this happened to it's happened to every president in modern history. Problem is, Biden doesn't have a lot of seats to lose. At 4:30 today, there's going to be 3 new Democratic senators sworn in, including the 2 big wins in Georgia, which were a surprise. That the 2 senators there could pull that off. And how this has been sold is, look, we have 51 seats. We have 51 seats in the Senate now, thanks to Kamala Harris being vice president. But bills don't pass by a simple majority in the Senate. You need 60 seats because of the cloture rule, because of the filibuster. So Democrats are going to be faced with a real big opportunity here and a real big challenge, because as Republicans have shown under the leadership of Mitch McConnell, now Senate Minority Leader, is that they are expert at blocking Democratic legislation, blocking Obama's nominees to the federal judiciary. 300 or so were blocked. Republicans chose never to take them up in Obama's final years in office. We hear a lot about moderate Democrats, people like Joe Manchin. Are they going to be open to spending trillions of dollars? Biden has suggested $1.9 trillion in spending for his first bill. Are they going to be open to that? And it was widely considered that people like Manchin would not support deficit spending, would not support checks. But in recent interviews, he's indicated that he may come around to that. People like Manchin also oppose removing the filibuster. Again, 60 votes to get legislation passed. Will the Republicans, Biden has called for unity with these same Republicans that were supporting the storming of the Capitol, that have supported Trump for the last 4 years, the worst things he's done. So it's really going to remain to be seen. If the Democrats can pass legislation, they do have the budget reconciliation process, which will allow them to pass 3 bills with a simple majority. You have the Supreme Court, which could overturn legislation from Democrats that is passed. If the Democrats don't deliver or aren't able to deliver, then they're going to have to take a look and this is the real role I see grassroots movement playing in pushing the Democrats to make the tough decisions and really deliver, because this could be Biden's only chance these next 2 years. If he loses the Senate, if he loses the House in 2022, that's going to be the end of any kind of agenda, and Democrats are going to be in real big trouble, in 2024.